Hello everyone and welcome to my Metru official channel. After Cyrus attacks, Lucky survives, and Jack explains why he has been supporting Joss. Chase questions Brooklyn's statement that she had a kid in their room at the Quartermain estate. She claims that when in high school, she gave birth to a child and placed it for adoption. Not even the baby's father is aware, only her mother is. She apologizes for not telling him. For her, it was such an odd moment. She knew she wasn't prepared to be a mother and was afraid. Since she was a child, Chase can relate. She was appreciative of her mother's support. Chase inquires as to if the choice was difficult. Although Brooklyn says she had no intention of ending the pregnancy, she swiftly decided to place the child for adoption. She was already overwhelmed and didn't need her family to judge her, so she didn't want the rest of them to know. She claims that Lois organized everything for her and her mother's tour. She never even got to see her child. Chase acknowledges how difficult it must have been for her and that she is unsure if she had a boy or a girl. Startled, she asks, "Aren't you upset with me?" Chase claims he has no resentment toward her. Although Chase claims she just kept a portion of her background confidential, she feels she lied to him. He says she selects who she shares it with because it's her past and it occurred to her. Since her falsehoods have been the root of so many of their issues, she finds it hard to believe he is not upset. He questions why she told him now, but reiterates that it wasn't a lie. She confesses that she has been keeping this a secret for so long because she couldn't allow him to continue criticizing himself for never becoming pregnant. He expresses gratitude to her for sharing this with him. According to Brooklyn, she trusts him with her life and loves him. "Right back at you," he tells her, and they share a kiss. She feels foolish for not informing him sooner, and they cuddle in bed. She was worried about his reaction. Does she evaluate herself, he asks. She claims she sacrificed her child in order to provide a better life for him or herself. He questions whether she ever considered looking for them. He thinks having her in their life could only improve it, but she is unsure if that would be fair to them. He says she is free to choose, but he will assist her if she wishes to locate her child. Tracy grins at Sasha. Tracy informs Sasha in the kitchen that she would like a cup of tea and wants to review the menu for the hospital benefit. Sasha jumps right in and informs Tracy that a private investigator has been sniffing around and that she believes the investigator is trying to find out more about Michael. She assumes she is employed by Willow's attorney. Sasha can feel Tracy is keeping something from her, so she asks. Tracy responds, "Good guess, and thank you for the information." Tracy inquires as to whether Jason will marry her if her child is his. Sasha believes she wants to know if she wants to officially declare her child a Quartermain. Tracy claims she got pregnant by the favorite, not just a Quartermain. Monica adores Jason, and her mother loved him no matter what he did. Sasha says she wants to raise her child alone and doesn't want anything from the Quartermains. According to Tracy, if Jason is the father, the child is actually a Quartermain. Jason is thrown out by Drew. Jason wants to declare a truce at Drew's in order to respect Sam and their children. Drew questions what's changed. According to Jason, Danny and Scout must cooperate for the benefit of the children because they are siblings and depend on one another. "Because you are all about family," rages Drew. Drew claims that he has always pondered what would happen if Susan Moore picked him instead of Jason. He would have had a family and grown up as a Quartermain. All Jason did was repeatedly harm their parents, and he would have delighted to have what Jason had. However, Jason now wants to return to the family. Jason can have the Quartermains, according to Drew, who will be here with Scout. Jason finds it unbelievable that he would protect Scout from her brother. As Scout's father, Drew claims he will act in her best interests. According to Drew, all Scout needs is him, Willow, and her children. He claims that he gave the Quartermains his all and that the moment he achieved something for himself, they abandoned him. Drew claims that since he is wealthy and has the Q name, he is not in need of the associated family. Then he dismisses this hitman. Tracy greets Jason at home. Tracy is pressing Sasha as Jason gets home and walks into the Quartermain kitchen. Yes, Jason is the father, Sasha relays the news to Tracy. Are you content? Tracy looks at Jason and exclaims, I guess congratulations are in order, as she storms out. She hopes that he has no plans to move out. He tells her that he isn't because Danny needs stability and this is his home. Since he is a member of this family, she is happy that he is putting them first and being loyal to them. Given that Drew is pursuing him, Jason says she might not want him around. Tracy says Willow was probably persuaded to hire the PI by Drew, who is coming for all of them. Drew believes that Michael's family has turned against him, and Jason is aware that the PI is looking for information about him. That makes him the enemy, according to Tracy, and she is very happy he is here. She welcomes Jason home. Fortunate accidents. Lucky's family is informed by Isaiah at the hospital that he is stable, but they are still unaware of the exact dosage of digitalis that was administered to him. They're keeping an eye on him. If they can see him, Laura asks. Laura instructs Liz and Aiden to go first after Isaiah says they can. They go to Isaiah's chamber. Portia tells Lucky, played by Jonathan Jackson again, to persevere in his room. Lucky, who has tubes and monitors attached, is visited by Liz and Lucky. Aiden tells his dad he only needs to wake up after Liz praises him for saving her life. Aiden acknowledges that having his father back has been wonderful, but he must wake up. The monitors start beeping abruptly. Since Cyrus is her brother, Laura feels bad when she informs Lulu in the hallway about his role in her liver failure. Lulu assures her mother that she is not at fault for anything. Lulu claims that the drug response is what caused her to wake up, thus she wouldn't have woken up if Cyrus hadn't been there. However, if Cyrus hadn't done what he did, Sam would still be here. Laura assures Joss that Cyrus, who never ought to have been released from prison, is too responsible for everything. Laura notices that something is off when Aiden and Liz show up. Liz informs them that Lucky's heart stopped once more. Help, Hen sobs, my father is dying. Isaiah and Portia use the paddles and compressions in Lucky's room to try to save Lucky. Later, Portia goes out and informs the family that they got Lucky back and that he's going to be okay. The danger is over, but he still has a long way to go, she says. Even though he may be a huge pain in the ass, Isaiah tells Lucky that he doesn't know what he would have done if he had lost him. He soon receives a visit from his family, who beg him to wake up, because they need him. Jordan tells Isaiah in the hallway that they are all thankful to him since she heard he saved another life. Finding Cyrus. In another scene, Dante and Anna question why Cyrus is traveling down Route 41 when there is nothing else to see. Why did Cyrus pursue Liz? Dante asks. According to Anna, she and Lucky discovered proof that Cyrus was the murderer, and he told Liz everything before attempting to harm her. Dante claims they have him at last and that while he can flee, he is unable to hide. Why was Cyrus murdering these individuals? Dante asks. He described it as a holy mission to free trapped spirits, but Dex and Sam stood in his way, according to Anna. Later, Jordan tells Dante and Anna that she has discovered Cyrus has a long-standing family relationship with the Gatlins. Anna inquires as to whether that might be Austin, whose murder case was never resolved. Anna makes calls to find out whether Austin owns any properties nearby. Later, she receives a callback with an address close to Route 41, which is Cyrus's intended route. Jordan and Anna leave after Dante urges him to keep them informed about Lucky. Jack offers something to Joss. Joss complies with Jack's request to give him the weapon at the cabin. Cyrus had passed away when Jack looks for a pulse. Joss claims he intended to murder her. Jack saw it when he was outside, so he knows. Joss says she hasn't phoned anybody else when he asks. They have a small window to hide this, according to Jack. Are they not going to call the police? Joss wonders. According to Jack, they could handle this on their own. Where did Joss get the gun? Jack wonders. It's Dex's, Joss says. Who will think this was self-defense, she cries, when everyone knows she despised Cyrus and thought he killed Dex. Jack acknowledges that arguing in a court of law will be difficult. He claims that no one, not even her mother, must know if he becomes involved. He informs her that they are departing after she claims she can be quiet. What about my fingerprints, she asks. He informs her that no one will ever know she was here since they are departing. Joss is unique. Joss is taken to his office by Jack, who tells her to take a shower and use the restroom. He advises her to abandon everything she owns, including her phone. They will be a change of clothes for her, he explains. Then he cleans the rifle. Entering the restroom, Joss reenacts shooting Cyrus. She throws up after running to the bathroom. After taking a shower, she can't stop thinking about killing Cyrus. When Colette shows up at his office, Jack tells her that Joss was carrying a gun and that Cyrus is dead. He's going to hide this, because he claims she just called him. Colette says there is a problem. Cyrus attacked Liz and Lucky tonight, and there is an APB out on him. It won't take Anna long to discover Cyrus' cabin. She also worries that because Joss is a child, she won't keep quiet and would want to tell someone. Colette should get a team to clean the cabin and make everything disappear, save for one item, he says, telling her to leave Joss to him. Jack stores the firearm in a cabinet after bagging it. Joss asks what's going on after exiting the restroom. He inquires as to whether she disclosed the address or where she went tonight to anyone. She questions why he provided her the address when she didn't. He claims that the night he requested Dex's video, she started this. She tells him that since there was no video, it didn't help her. He gives her a picture of Cyrus assaulting Dex and acknowledges that there was. Why didn't he call the police, she asks. He was curious to find out what she would do. Joss inquires as to whether he is teasing her because he has feelings for her mother. Jack maintains that this is solely about Carly and has nothing to do with her. He claims that she is unique and possesses all the necessary traits to be a superb WSB agent. He desires for her to join them. Joss believes that everything was staged, and he persuaded her to kill Cyrus in order to pressure her into joining the WSB. Jack claims he was unaware of her gun ownership, but why did she bring it with her? Although she claims to be protecting herself, she is not a spy. He claims that it does. She defends and shelters herself by acting rather than by hiding. She shares the evidence she discovered with Jack when he inquires about what transpired in the cabin. She then fired in self-defense as Cyrus swung a hatchet at her. He queries whether she would have fired the gun if Cyrus hadn't attacked her. Joss is unsure. She should be glad she didn't call the police at that time, Jack advises her. She would make a fantastic agent, but he claims he will protect her even if she declines his offer. But tonight, she'll need a tail. He offers her money to purchase a new phone and hands over the keys to her car, which he had brought there. He gives her the order to inform everyone that she lost hers. We'll be in touch, Jack adds before she departs. Colette comes back and is shocked that Joss was able to leave so easily. Yes, Jack responds, and it's better she believes it's her idea when she returns. Anna, Dante, and other cops return to the cabin. They enter by kicking in the door while brandishing their guns. There are no indications that anyone has ever been inside, and everything is spotless. Anna requests that a police officer call forensics. She claims if Cyrus was here, she'll find something to prove it. Gannon saves Lucky's life, but Jack conceals Cyrus' death and asks Joss to join the WSB. Friday, February 21st, 2025, Drew refuses to make amends with Jason, Tracy welcomes Jason back to the family, and Chase grows even more admiring of BLQ. Recap of Thursday's GH, Joss killed Cyrus and asked Jack for assistance, BLQ informed Chase she had a baby, and Lucky was taken to the hospital. BLQ tells Chase in their room that she gave up her baby while she was in high school. She never mentioned her father to anyone but her ma. She apologizes for not telling him and shares with him how afraid she was and how her mother saved her. She was certain that the rest of her family would never know that she had chosen not to keep the child. She was terrified of being judged. BLQ never saw her child and is unsure of its gender. That must have been extremely difficult. She questions why he isn't upset. He cannot be. They discuss how much she loved her child and how she had to compartmentalize. She apologizes for lying while crying. He believes she can decide who she shares it with because it's a part of her life. The cop can't understand what she went through. She is incredible. Why she's telling him now is all Chase can think about. She found it unbearable to watch him criticize himself for not being able to conceive her. He appreciates her sharing. They kiss and have complete faith in one another. They discuss finding her child. He is certain that her presence will only improve their lives. Jason suggests they declare a truce at Drew's and says that he wants to respect Sam's wishes. Drew wants to know what's changed. According to his brother, they must cooperate for the benefit of the children. Drew discusses what his life may have been like if he had received all Jason received. While Jason brushed all of that aside, he would have loved to have been a Quartermaine. He and the Quartermaines are no longer with him. Although what Scout is going through pains him, he will watch out for her. He rants about how the family abandoned him after he did something that was not nearly as horrible as what they have done. Drew has the necessary name, wealth, and influence. He has no desire to interact with the family. Tracy orders tea from Sasha in the kitchen of Quartermaine. Sasha informs her that the PI is spying on Michael as she learns about it. Though she felt she should know, she didn't tell her much. Sasha can tell Tracy is curious. Tracy inquires as to whether she intends to wed Jason and have a Quartermaine child. Sasha maintains that she has no expectations or desires from the family. Tracy claims that if the kid is a Quartermaine, they cannot act as though it is solely hers. After further prodding, Sasha eventually confesses that Jason is the father. Jason shows up, and she rushes out. He tells Tracy that as long as his son is there, he will remain there. Danny requires consistency. Jason is shocked when Tracy informs him that he is still one of them. He nods and says she won't want him around. I'm being pursued by Drew, he says. Tracy welcomes Jason home and acknowledges that she's happy he's there. Gannon informs Lucky's family at General Hospital that although they have given Lucky a countermeasure against the Digitalis, it is too soon to tell if it is effective. Aiden calms down after assuming that his father will pass away. Gannon shows Liz and Aiden Lucky's room and informs him that Lucky is his best friend. Lucky will be alright, Lulu and her mother assure themselves. Laura tells her that she had liver failure because of Cyrus. Nobody could have foreseen that he would do this, according to her daughter. Laura maintains that Cyrus is solely to blame for this. Liz walks into Lucky's room with Aiden. She asks him to return and praises him for saving her life. It's been nice to have him back, Aiden tells him. I guess thanks, he says. Liz tells Lucky that it's time to leave this place, because he's had enough beautiful sleep. His devices begin to bleep. As they arrive, the physicians try to stabilize him. Gannon tries chest compressions when that doesn't work. Shortly after, Portia leaves to inform the family that Lucky is now stable. She is thanked by the family. Gannon tells Lucky that he doesn't know what he would do if he lost him back in his room. The members of Lucky's family enter and plead with him to wake up. Anna and Dante wish for Lucky's well-being. She clarifies that since Liz was looking into Cyrus, he must have pursued her. She goes on to say that Cyrus admitted to killing Sam and Dex, among others. Cyrus knows they have him. Dante claims that while he can flee, he cannot hide. In search of a lead, she calls. They discuss the lack of logic in this. Jordan joins them and reveals that Cyrus had a connection to Austin, the doctor who disappeared in 2023. They debate what to do, and Dante agrees to follow the rules, provided they allow him to pursue Cyrus. They move off once Anna receives a call with the cabin's location. Jordan gives Gannon props for saving his pal. He is appreciative that Lucky is too obstinate to pass away. Joss is holding a gun over Cyrus's body when Jack gets to his cabin. He takes the firearm from her and says they have a brief window to clean things up. She believes they ought to get in touch with the police. She used Dex's rifle to kill Cyrus. Nobody is going to think it's self-defense. Jack is aware that she won't be exonerated in court. This is something he can handle. That implies that nobody will ever be aware of what took place. She agrees to that. He guides her outside. Joss is taken by Jack to the WSB, where she is sent to transform. He informs Colette that Cyrus has passed away. Joss did it, and they can clean it up, he says. She cautions that Anna is already pursuing Cyrus because he also attacked Liz and Lucky. A child won't be able to keep this quiet, Colette thinks. With one exception, he says she must tidy the cabin. Joss considers killing Cyrus in the restroom before having to throw up. She takes a shower, looks in the mirror, and continues to consider killing Cyrus. As Jack packs the gun, she heads back to his office. They discuss the leads she pursued. He acknowledges that he gave them to her in order to see her reaction. She possesses every attribute that would make her an effective agent, he explains. I want you to join us, he declares. He maintains that he is not the one who set her up, despite her accusations. They discuss her reaction to Cyrus' attack and what she discovered in the cabin. She acknowledges that she is unsure if, had he not attacked her, she would have killed him. The cabin has been cleaned, whether or not she accepts his offer of employment. He permits her to leave. Jack says they should let Joss believe that returning to them is her own idea when Colette enters. The PCPD, Dante, and Anna kick in the cabin door. It has been well cleaned by the time they enter.